Hello all, this is Azura, and today we're going to be mixing it up a bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a game of me versus my friend Pyro in StarCraft 2, and what we're going to do is go through everything from each of our viewpoints, and we're going to be talking about our strategies. And for the most part, haven't really done too much of StarCraft. I will admit right now I suck. So, for all the experienced StarCraft players that come across this video, obviously, you will probably be screaming at how bad I'm doing. So, starting off, I'm just, gathering as many SCVs as possible, trying to get a bit of an economy going as quickly as I can, and not really doing a good job of it.
Additional supply depots required.
Because I should be focusing more on getting a barracks down rather than a second supply depot. Not really putting a priority on units, because all I'm doing is supply depots and a refinery at the moment. So, if either one of us had any skill at this game, an early rush would probably kill me now. Finally decided to get a barracks going. Still just slowly making units. I'm not even going to max out this resource line for probably half the game. But the one thing I've been learning a lot in the more recent games I've been playing, it pays to get as big of an economy and start building your army as quickly as possible. Even if it isn't so much to stop a rush, as if you get a bunch of production buildings early, it gets easier down the road. Right now I'm doing a terrible job microing my SCVs, as I now have that one guy just kind of chilling by the barracks. He's finally going to go and build a refinery. And because of how slow this is going, I'm going to speed it up quite a bit. I'm not really exploring much.
Armed and ready. You want a piece of me? SCV ready.
As you can see, I'm already supply locked, and I have, all of 4 or 5 units? No, I got 8 units. Finally starting to get up and going here. Got a factory and third barracks going up. Tech lab as soon as possible. Going for the shield. Got a sensor tower. Normally I don't rely too much on the sensor towers, but since it's a 1v1 and he pretty much knows where I am just by the fact this is a pretty easy to read 2v2. And this is actually the third of a series of games that we had played, and this was just the one that we decided to record. I had been pestering him with Banshees, and he decided that that was no longer going to be a thing, so his SCV does not get to scout my base at all, barely even gets to the ramp. So at this point I'm going around like, I am not going to let you do the same thing I've been doing to you. So, trying to get kind of a ring of detection going.
Ready for dust off.
Finally getting a little bit of an army, mostly Marine Marauder.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Okay. Just finally got a reactor down. I'm gonna scout a bit with 2 Reapers.
Upgrade complete.
Slow this down a bit so I can actually see what's going on. Looks like I got 4 Reapers going over there just to sort of scat out what's going on. Setting up some siege tanks for defense. Running up here. Saw some units, so like have my Reapers back off.
Complete.
Realize I'm getting a supply locked again. Happened anyway. That's not good. I'll have them run away. And have them chill out there because there's nothing really they can do anymore. Looking around. So I'm gonna have. Oh, ran right into the middle of his army. Found him trying to get a high yield without clearing the rocks first. I decide I don't want him to do that. Have his entire army walk right by mine. These guys are basically sacrifices. I mean, I don't use Reapers too much, so this isn't a big loss for me. Go in there and see how much damage I can do. Scat out his base a bit. And one thing that Pyro does is he loves Marines. I mean, he really loves Marines, so trying to block that a bit.
Upgrade complete.
Go, go, go!
As for me, during the entire time I was not paying attention to my base, so overall, surprisingly our armies are about equal, but he has the potential for a lot more. But I suddenly take a jump there, jump ahead of him a couple units. Not much, I mean, it wouldn't do too much in the grand scheme of things. He tries doing the same thing with the Banshees, but I had sensor towers, managed to get a couple Marines over, take out the Banshees before my tower went down.
Ready for
If I'm smart, I'll build a couple more just to make sure he can't pull anything with them. Getting upgrades going. I'm almost all the way done with my Marine upgrades. He's going back with the Banshees. Got my sensor tower up in time. Managed to take either scare it off or send it away. Or kill it, rather. Still got that one SCV just in the middle of nowhere. Decide I'm going to go hide up there for an expansion rather than get the one by my base. Still got this giant army just kind of sitting there doing nothing. And looks like I'm going to do one of my favorite tactics, which is drop a couple drops ship worth or medevac worth of units behind his army. Do as much damage as I can. Realize the rocks are preventing me from getting up there. So I figure instead of wasting time killing the rocks and leaving myself a point that I need to defend later, I'm going to send a medevac in the middle of fighting there. Decide, might as well get the hell out of there. But yeah, got a medevac over here. Gonna have him go over and build an expansion up here.
Research complete.
And I've got a lot of minerals that I'm not using, and a lot of gas too. I should be, there I go, I start making a lot more units. Hide those a bit. Finishing up the researching or upgrades for my Marines. Scouting at his base, looking at what he's got. It's probably mostly Marines at this point.
Upgrade complete.
Waiting for that to finish. I still got these 2 dropships just kind of hanging out, and yeah, I decide they're not doing much more, so send them back home to just rest up. Spent a lot of materials building units because went from 1,000 to about 100 and next to nothing. So finally getting all upgrades, and here he comes with his first major invasion. Managed to get rid of his Banshees coming around. I've got, for some reason he splits up his forces and just kind of sits there and takes it from that one siege tank up there. I've got another siege tank up top just kind of whittling away. get a high ground advantage, and yeah, just kind of mop up his remaining forces. He's got a siege tank there, but doesn't bother putting it in siege tank mode just to deal with any of the damage. Got my SCV over there doing nothing by himself. He's very lonely SCV. Got another siege tank to replace the one that he managed, Pyro managed to kill. I'm completely out of minerals there. I'm going to be in trouble very soon. So have them start getting some sort of economy going again. I've got a lot of guys just sitting around doing nothing.
Upgrade complete. Upgrade
and
complete.
At this point, I'm about 20 units ahead, but most of those are probably SCVs. Our armies right now are probably around the same. Take a look at the army tab. Yeah, it's mostly SCVs that actually we're pretty even on SCVs. He's, as you can see, he's jumping on Marines there. He constantly pumps out Marines. The resources, you know, I'm still hurting pretty bad because you can see he's pulling in about 1,000, somewhere around 1,000 minerals, and I'm only just getting up to 500. But right now I'm just helping fix my defensive wall there that pretty much got shattered. Decide that I'm going to go a couple Banshees, see if I can mess with them a bit. I'm still pretty low on income, and he's got more SCVs than I have at this point, but I don't know that. I mean, just kind of sitting around. I'm not very interesting at this game. It's
Add-on complete.
mostly me just playing around. As I said, I'm not very good at this game. It's mostly just something I thought would be fun to record and see if I can't get some commentary on what I should be doing better. I decide that, yeah, they should all leave before even
Upgrade
finishing
complete.
that refinery. It's only got 40 left, though, so it's not a huge loss.
Research complete.
Decide they'd be better off using this, and I think I actually overcapped that. Because, yeah, that's got 3 still. But, starting to build a couple Banshees and another siege tank. Nope. Putting the siege tank on
Upgrade complete.
the medevacs, and I'm sending 3 medevacs. Oh, don't want him for some reason. Oh, yeah, you don't want to take an SCV for a suicide-ish run. Because most of the times, if I can save them, I will, but for the other 95% of the time, they're all suicide units. Fallen a bit behind on units and on income. He's a solid 1,000 in front of me.
Oh, it's on.
But hopefully these
Upgrade
3
complete.
dropships will be able to put a big enough punch that it won't hurt me too bad. He immediately gets the hell out of there. Or, I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was lifting that off for some other reason, but right now, finally seeing... Oh. Yeah, here comes his Banshees and all that. He should cloak those because I don't have any detecting units. Have to run back and see... Yeah, I've already lost one. Oh, nope. Didn't lose the other medevac, but I managed to put him in the red as far as supply caps go, so he's not going to be building units for a little bit until he can get some more supply depots down. But he's still a very solid lead ahead of me in minerals. So I got this natural pretty much maxed out, and I've got a lot of guys just standing around doing nothing. If I was better at this game, I probably should be harassing him and microing this unit. It's a lot better. Got a command center. I never really went with an orbital or planetary station during any of these, which I've learned is not helpful, because getting an orbital is very helpful to your economy, and having a good
Upgrade complete.
defense is, important, but you need a better economy than what I'm showing here. I decided that I'm going to go see what I can scout out with these Banshees.
Research.
See that unit going somewhere. I'll eventually go and find out what he's doing. See what his base is going, and he's got a nice big army there, and I'm just going to pick off everyone I can. I'm not really microing them as well as I should. But, dealing quite a bit of damage. He doesn't have any detection units still, which I haven't really... I'm going for Reapers again, which is surprising because I rarely ever use them. Finally decided to get all my units back. They're running out of energy, so I'm going to have them retreat, heal up a bit. See another factory going somewhere, so it was not a fluke. They're definitely going somewhere. And I figured, he's got a nice big army that I should probably take care of somewhere. I see a lot of buildings going off this way, and if he was smart, he'd be going to this expansion right next to me and trying to airlift over, and yes, he is. So, catch him in the middle of building a base, managed to quickly get rid of that.
Ready for dust off.
We got a bunch of guys just chilling out, standing around, decide I do not like that SCV. Actually ignored the, what is that, a factory? Yeah, it was a factory. Well, whatever it was is dead. Killed that SCV. He did not get away as quickly as he would have liked. I've got this Reaper just kind of scouting around. I'm thinking he might have expanded somewhere else, because he does expand a lot more than I do. He's still got a large standing army, and we're actually pretty even on resources. But at the moment, I think I'm ahead in units. Yeah, we're pretty much even at this point. I'm obviously keyed up a lot more for defense, but yeah, I've spent a lot more on my army than he has at this point. So I'm sending my Banshees back over, and they cloak, and he's got a detection tower going, but I figure might as well stick around and see how much I can take out, get that one before it goes. He's got an army, and they can see me, so better run away. So like I said, he's very, very quick to surround himself with towers, but he has not gotten to this point yet. Cloak anyway, just see if I can't catch anyone. And there's a bunch of supply depots over here that he cannot really defend at this point. Got him supply locked again. And if I was smart at all, I would have actually decloaked these Banshees while they're working on this, and then cloaked as soon as his other force had come in to stop me. But it actually doesn't seem like he's going to bother and do that. He's running out of energy, so I'm going to send him away. Have the other ones continue working until they're out of energy. And I'm taking out a good chunk of his supply depots. And considering the army sizes right now, this is not really significant. He could easily just ignore these losses. But I'm getting way up there in materials. I should really be spending more on my army. Either if it's just pumping out more Marines or buying upgrades. That guy's out of energy, so I'll send him away. Not really sure why I bothered with that. Figure he really likes his Marines, so see if I can't get rid of a base. Decloak them to save some energy. Decide how much of his army I can take down. Finally found his sensor tower. Get rid of that. See his army coming, and I'll run away. And I'll just kind of leave those 4 Banshees in the back. Decide I'm going to send a bunch of guys somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where these guys are going. Apparently they're just going to sit there. Yeah, they're going over. I think I'm just looking for I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Apparently I'm sending what is that, a 5 dropship attack force looking over there, trying to see how many minerals I have.
Depleted.
Come over here and realize I just found his entire army. Those guys did not stand a chance. Figure, well, that's a bust. Might as well hide them. I probably could have hit the high ground and maybe tried tricking a couple of his guys to hit the, nope. He found me. See how many of these Marines I can pick off before they can run away to a sensor tower.
Upgrade
Quite a few of them, by the looks of it. Oh, lost another Banshee. But, you know, those are the risks you run at this point, just cleaning up this base, because not much more I can do over here. Let's speed this up a bit, because it looks like I'm just going to watch as I kill this base. Wait for his army to come, but it never really happens. Send them back home, because there's nothing more they can really do. I should probably have maxed out my population cap, but haven't bothered doing that yet. They're pretty much done up there. Side, it's finally time I should get an expansion. I'm looking down there, realize I'm soon going to have a bunch of SCVs doing nothing very soon, so it'd be a good idea to get a couple more expansions going so my Banshees clear out the rocks. Just have him hover over there while waiting for a spot. Finally get them to land. Get all my SCVs going, and just going to drop them down next to the rich mineral sources. Get them working as fast as possible. Once again, I'm not destroying the rocks, just so that way I have more of a natural defense. That way, if he ever did try coming up that left side of the map, he would have a very hard time getting in there before I, you know, had a bunch of... And oh my god, there's a lot of sensor towers. Oh, found a hole. So, got rid of that sensor tower before he got anything. He's pretty much mined this out, so it's just essentially useless at this point. But, I'm doing a lot of damage to his buildings at this point. And just kind of denying him the gas, and I keep going behind his lines and pesking him with hitting his supply depots, just trying to get him supply locked, just scout over there to make sure he hasn't expanded. Doesn't look like you have. Take out 2 more of those, rush over here, and send them on home to make sure that he hasn't come back to this base. He hasn't. I'm pretty much out of stuff. I finally decide, yeah, it's time for me to max out my population because I supply locked myself again. They're sitting around doing nothing, so I figure might as well build another base. So, got a nice force of Banshees scouting around, trying to see if he's expanded it onto this left side of the map at all. He doesn't look like he has. And found more towers. He really likes these sentry towers now because I've been just pesking him with these invisible units. And I figure I don't use ghosts because I never feel like committing enough resources to making sure that they're fully upgraded, and it's usually a lot more of a hassle than it's worth. But decided to ring in that just so that way the only way he's going to be able to get to me is either by breaking through the rocks or, you know, a huge amount of airdrops just to survive getting shot. Run in here, and these Banshees are pretty much screwed because they ran into the middle of a ring of detection towers. I've got, you know, a pretty large standing army. And our armies are pretty much the same at this point. I've got 10 more supply than he does. And he spent a lot more. But if you look at the units lost, I'm not even close to what he's at.
Ghost reporting.
So, got a couple ghosts. I'm pretty much maxing out this high intake. I'm probably actually over stimulated there. I probably have more SCVs there than I should. My economy is not doing nearly as well as his, but I am ahead of him in technology, and my army is just slightly behind. But I think the population, or the number advantage gives me a bit of an advantage. I'm only like 10,000 behind now, or 1,000 actually. So it's not too big of a gap.
Mineral field depleted.
Thinking I'm gonna do another,
Mineral field depleted.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
well, ran into his army again.
Ghost
Not really
reporting.
keeping too high of an APM at this point. Very, very rarely goes above 30. And here we're going to see a very large confrontation where I'm just going to keep trying to pepper him with my siege tank, and I managed to take out quite a few of his units before finally needing to pull back.
Mineral field
But overall, I think I
depleted.
won out in that exchange just by the sheer amount of units that he lost. And at this point, I'm not really bringing in anything, but he's not bringing in that much more in the grand scheme of things. So I'm just kind of patrolling around. I'm going to send a bunch of ghosts over, just kind of see what I can do with them. This is more of me playing around with the ghosts more than actually using ghosts. So take out the detection thing and then play around with the cloak. See how many I can pull over and snipe. I figure might as well use the nuke. He figures out what I'm doing and just breaks his army away. But did get rid of a tower. Came over here. Not really worried about the one Marine. Here we're kind of playing tag with Marines. Figure snipe a couple. Have them hide back over here.
Missile ready.
Got another nuke in the work. Get over here and take out these towers before they get back up. His entire army comes after me. That SCV was just bad. Yeah, and at this point, I'm just doing a lot
Research complete.
better at producing units than him. Not really building a lot, either of us. I only have one ghost in the works. But I do have, looks like 3 expansions. Only 2 of them are actually giving me anything, though. He's got another sentry tower going up. Or, missile tower. Finally getting some Thors. Getting another, the other ghosts, as I said. I'm upgrading more of my air units. Kind of put that on the back burner. And I've got all this money kicking around, and I'm pretty close to the population cap, so at this point I'm just trying to figure out what should I do with my army so that I've got the best possible chance. I'm going to speed up a bit more to see what because nothing's really happening at this point. It's me scouting around. I've got a lot of nothing going on, so I'm going to figure I might as well see as much of
Nuclear missile
what
ready.
he's doing as possible, because it looks like he's kind of turtling up in that back corner. See that he's got a couple units there, not too many. It's looks like he's just got 3 units showing out there by himself. Got some Vikings going up. I haven't seen too many of his aircraft actually since I drove back his Banshees a couple times. I see this one unit, I'm like, what the hell is this? That actually scared me for a while because I had nothing down there to protect that expansion. And we just see this. Yeah, that SCV got murdered. Everyone decided that he just had to go. So got them back where they're going. Sending these medevacs all the way back to the corner. I love this corner because he never actually defended it. And if he had just put couple more towers back here, because you can see, don't even bother too much with that. Got the 2 medevacs there. He's got the Raven, but by itself, it's not much of a threat. Just picking off the Marines, doing that little game of tag again. He's trying to time it so that he gets them when I'm coming back to hit him again, and I'm trying to time it to hit him when he's running away. But I've got these medevacs over here, so overall, unless he follows me back and makes me run out of energy, I'm going to come ahead no matter what. Trying to get them out of range. Still haven't lost any of my ghosts yet. I'm gonna have them run back and heal up a bit, with the second one helping out. And this game of tag goes on for quite a while. He's trying to build ravens to help stop that, but, you know, I see he's got a nice army trying to stop these ghosts, so I have them pull back for a bit. He's got another medevac coming on the way. And yet another medevac coming on the way. Oh, that poor ghost. He did not stand a chance. So, having these run away. Don't like a refinery, even though it's doing nothing. He's probably done upgrading all of his units by this point, but, you know, what am I going to do? Finally get into a position where I can do some damage, but lose nearly all of my ghosts. Only have that one chilling out in the corner. I'm running out of Vespene gas again. I'm just building more ghosts at this point. At this point, this is like our third major confrontation. I've got a bunch of my medevacs going up. He's trying to take out the sensor towers as quickly as possible. And at the moment, I got a siege tank just kind of trying to pick off as many of his marines as possible. I got my Thor going there. I should get quite a few of his guys before I have to pull back my medevacs. They're the only surviving guys, unfortunately. As you can see, I'm well ahead in the units lost, and as to how many resources I put in. Just trying to pick his guys apart. I'm going to expand even further down because I can see that he hasn't tried claiming that side. I'm not even sure what to say anymore because right now I'm still just running around. At the units, I'm pretty far ahead. Got... Oh, I actually even forgot about that. Well, this was actually just luck on my part. Because at this point, I get really lucky. I just happen to look up there, and I'm like, those are not mine. What are they doing up here? Oh, that's his invading army. I should go kill those.
We'll see.
So I managed to kill a bunch of them before they even get a chance to do any damage. I lose maybe one marine.
I was just going to take because I'm like, alright guys.
This is not your time for commentary. You should not get to talk. You're going to have your own separate video for this.
Are you commenting right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude.
So, finally decide I should set up a sensor tower there just to make sure he can't do that again. At least not without me noticing, if I ever pay attention to my mini-map. I got another force of ghosts going. Decide I should take out as many of his guys as possible. Abandoning the high ground and calling a nuke, trying to protect this. Managed to get the nuke off. It does nothing really, but managed to take out a couple of his supply depots just to keep him honest, I guess. But at this point, I'm ahead by about 50 Marines. He has barely any Marauders, and he's only got 7 SCVs. But you know, at this point, I pretty much hemmed him into the corner. And if either one of us were good at this game, I probably would have pushed ahead with all ground units and wiped him out at this point. And he would probably advance into that back corner and try and grab another expansion, just to get some more money going. But at this point, I'm just gearing up for a final push. I got a couple Thors being made, scouting out, and it's like, out of all the expansions, I never actually grabbed the one right next to my base. That's very stupid of me. But got this final push, and this is basically me just going to walk right over his little defensive line there, taking out his sensor towers so I can get my medevacs in there without getting shot. Got a bunch of yeah, this is pretty much one side at this point. He's got his entire army's going at this point, and I'm still sitting strong at 60 Marines, 20 Marauders, about 2 Thors, and a decent amount of siege tanks, most of which are still sitting, doing nothing. got those ghosts coming in from the back just to make sure he can't send any units to run away. He still manages to run away anyway. So at this point, it's pretty much endgame. He's just gonna see how long he can pull this out. I'm convinced that he did the same thing I did up in that top corner, but turns out he did not. And neither one of us are, polite enough to recognize that the game is over at this point. And I'm just trying to figure out where his other guys are, just so I can end the game. And I've got just a massive SCVs chasing down an airborne command center. Ran right into my base, which was actually prepared for early insertions. So, not too worried about that. They're just kind of tracking them at this point. Got two Vikings just trying to pick him off. He's got nowhere to go at this point. I'm pretty sure this is his last unit. And finally got him, and that is the game.